So Rafa Nadal gets revenge on Novak Djokovic and beats him in the quarterfinals of Roland Garros 2022 in 4 sets in an amazing match from Rafa. And my prediction was wrong. I'll admit that. It was also wrong for Zverev beating Carlos Alcaraz. So I'm going to break down these 2 matches, especially how Nadal was able to beat Djokovic. I got a few specific ways he did it, and I'm pretty stunned in the fashion that it went down. Let's get into it on the slice presented by PointsBet Canada. There's so much to talk about.
Oh, he's playing a galactically.
She's been too good, too often.
Oh, it's out to this world.
How's that for quality on clay?
Well, thanks for being here, people. It has just been a great tournament so far, and this was the match. This was the match of the week that we were all looking forward to. Quarterfinals, Rafa and Novak, insane that they're in the quarterfinals, and just a lot riding on the line for both guys. Before we get deep into it, if you haven't already, subscribe, make sure you like this video, and I want to hear your opinion down below on what happened afterwards. PointsBet Canada is a presenting sponsor for the slice during Roland Garros, so shout out to them. And if you live in Ontario, join PointsBet to bet on the rest of the French Open going forward with awesome in-game betting and a sweet sign-up bonus. So how did Nadal do it? Coming in, we all said, I said it, Djokovic was the favorite, and I thought Djokovic was going to win in 3 or 4 sets. I also said Zverev was going to lose to Alcaraz. That didn't happen. I got to talk in my low voice right now because it's late. It's like 2 a.m. almost. And they had the night session, Djokovic versus Nadal. It was always going to go late and go long, and it did. Super interesting match because it was not, it started out carbon copy to 2020 when Rafa got off to the hot start, bagel, and 2021 when Rafa also got off to the hot start. Rafa got off to another hot start here against Djokovic, but Djokovic, after being down a set and a double break, was able to turn around and win that second set. And honestly, my mind went to, I wonder if Nadal's got the stamina. Djokovic is starting to get these wheels running. And then that's where the plot really got thrown off for, I think, all the predictors like myself. Rafa came back out in the 3rd set and played super aggressive, was the better player in that set. And then in the 4th set, Djokovic went, even had the chance to serve it out, gets broken, and then it gets pushed to a tiebreaker, and then Djokovic makes some uncharacteristic, unforced errors in the tiebreaker. Nadal keeps playing amazing and closes it out. And you could see what it meant to Rafa. It meant he celebrated more for that than he did for some of his Roland Garros victories in the past. Just what a challenge Novak is for him and what this matchup and the rivalry means to them. That was their 59th meeting. It's crazy. But let's get into what Nadal specifically beat Djokovic in and the reason why he was able to beat Djokovic today. Firstly, Rafa's forehand was all-time. It was like almost as good as we've ever seen it. It was doing so much damage up the line, cross-court. The conditions, it was at night, so people thought the ball wouldn't be bouncing as high. It was bouncing. It was warmer tonight, I think, and at the beginning of the match especially, his aggression with the forehand really kept Djokovic off the baseline and kept the advantage for Rafa, and he kind of just blitzed him at the beginning. We saw him do that in the previous years, like I said, but the whole match, his forehand stayed great, and physically he didn't break down at all. So the main thing, I think, was his forehand doing damage. That sets up the rest of his game, going backhand as a counterpunch, drop shots, and the serving was there as well. But we haven't seen the forehand, I think, from Rafa like that in a while, and that was so impressive to see. The second thing was Djokovic's form came and went. He played good in some points. He played really locked down in some points. He served well at some points, but he didn't serve well the whole match. And his form kind of ebbed and flowed. 48 winners for Djokovic, 53 errors. So more errors than winners, not typical for him. Against Nadal, that's not going to cut it. Nadal had 57 winners, and I don't have the unforced errors here, but it was in the 40s. So just opposite ratios. Makes sense that Rafa comes out with the win there. The weird thing is, though, Djokovic missing, is it because of him just being off, him being tight, or was it the action on Rafa's shots? It's hard to tell, but Djokovic definitely at the end of the match, closing it out, not clutch like we've used to seeing him do, and you could tell. Him leaving the court, he was pissed. That was a tough loss for him. He's going to lose his #1 ranking now for sure, and he's not defending his title here at Roland Garros, losing in the quarterfinals, which is his earliest loss without an injury since, I think, the 2018 Australian Open. So that's been a long time of amazing success for Djokovic, but just wasn't able to bring it his best out in the biggest moments tonight, which is not normal. But he's also playing Rafa, so that's the huge challenge on the other end of the court. And it's Rafa at almost like peak Roland Garros Rafa. I can't believe Rafa brought that level today based on the physical challenges we thought he had coming in. He'd only played like 10 clay court matches all year so far, but Rafa at Roland Garros, you cannot put a cap on it. And shame on me, honestly, for predicting otherwise. The last thing is Djokovic lost the baseline battle. I predicted that Djokovic would win the baseline battle and keep Nadal on the run, and he'd be able to impose himself. But the opposite happened. Nadal was able to impose himself for the most time, and Djokovic seemed to be running a lot and then being forced into positions he didn't want to be in and missing from them. Nadal went up the line so well, forehand and backhand. It kept Djokovic guessing, like I said, and yeah, it just didn't let him get settled into these rallies where he felt like he could start to dictate more. Nadal got on the front foot first set when he won it. He lost it in the second set. He got back on the front foot in the third set, won it pretty easily, and then found a way to claw back into the fourth set. And that's all she wrote. So, yeah, very interesting match. Ebbs and flows. Wasn't one of their highest quality matches all the way throughout because of the ebbs and flows, I think, but it was still very intense, very epic. The French crowd was very into it, and just a massive win for Rafa, who now plays Zverev, because Zverev beat Carlos Alcaraz. So I think Zverev told everyone to put some respect on his name, because everyone was predicting, including myself, Carlos Alcaraz to go through. But in hindsight, it just makes so much sense that he wouldn't. Again, coming in before this tournament, Carlitos Alcaraz played with barely any pressure. Now he comes in here. Now he's expected to make the semifinals. Everyone's talking about it. These players hear these things from the media, from everyone else. And Zverev, yes, he was like 0-10 versus top 10 players before in his career. A lot of those matches have been tight. And he's also 25. This is a 19-year-old top 10 player. So fitting for him to get his first win. But Zverev did just play great tennis throughout the match. And especially in the first two sets when he won, he was just hitting big from the baseline, being aggressive from deep. He was hitting very strong weight of shot from deep, though, was just kind of playing with margin. And yeah, Carlos just didn't have it. He was overplaying, spraying balls, and it seemed like the pressure was getting to him. So people always talk about, show me a weakness in the Carlos game, but he doesn't really have any physical weaknesses. He has the same weakness that everyone else gets: nerves, pressure. It affects tennis players, and Carlitos is not immune to it. So Zverev through to the semifinal with a huge opportunity versus Nadal. I think if Nadal plays like he did today against Djokovic, it's going to be one-way traffic, Nadal. But I also know that Zverev has beaten Nadal 3 times, and he can do it. And if he was ever going to do it, this would be the time. We don't know how Nadal's going to show up physically. We just don't. If it's during the day, it could be even more pop for Zverev. If he has an amazing service day, he can do it. So anyways, that's for another day. That's going to be on Friday. But tonight, that's my reaction to Nadal beating Djokovic, getting revenge, and really sticking it to the man. That's a huge win for Nadal in his rivalry, for the GOAT debates, for everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And this is Steven signing out from the Slice headquarters at 2 a.m. I can't even think straight. I hope that made sense. Leave a like, subscribe, and consider joining our channel for a preview of what Tony Nadal told me about what he changed in Felix Auger-Aliassime's game on Europass by joining our channel or joining us on Patreon. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks to PointsBet for sponsoring our content all throughout the French Open. We will see you guys next time.
Oh, he's playing a galactic.
She's been too good, too often.
Oh, it's out to this world.
How's that for quality on play?